Gamers, and welcome to the first part of my spooky Halloween event thingy. So right now, at the time of me posting this, there are two other videos up on my channel. There's one you're watching right now, which is the Gunpla one, the Transformers one, and a Roblox one. So those are like the only content I make on this channel, so everybody who watches that has a video to enjoy. But anyways, right now we're going to be reviewing a spooky Gundam, which is the high-grade Gundam Deathscythe from Gundam Wing. So this figure was released a few months ago. It is pretty new, and is of course a high-grade 1/44 scale kit of the Deathscythe from the 90s Gundam anime known as Gundam Wing. An anime which I've only seen a little tiny bit of. But anyways, just here it is. I have done a bit of painting on it, like I do with most Gunpla. Jeez, it's been a while since I've reviewed any Gundam kits. But anyways, so there's like some panel lining or painting. All over I've done a bunch of panel lining, because there's some nice detail. I painted the crotch V red, because it needed to be red. And that's actually all the painting I did. Besides that, it's mostly just panel lining. And for these stickers I applied, just eyes, head camera, and back camera. Oh, and I did do a bit of painting in here. You can't see it right now. Let's try to get that. There we go. You can see I kind of messily painted a piston in there. I actually built this kit like a bit ago, like, you know, when it was released, which, again, was a bit ago. But yeah, here he is, like, you know, out of the box with a bit of painting I did. And he does look pretty good. He is like a Jester, Scythe, Grim Reaper kind of themed Gundam. His proportions are not the ones in the show, thankfully, because a lot of 90s Gundams had some not so great proportions. Thankfully, this is like has some more, you know, better proportions, I guess. More streamlined proportions, basically. Yeah, it is really good. The colors are really nice. We have some nice black, yellow, and some white all around it. And we do get a bit of red plastic for his little tiny chin there on his head. There's also two shades of gray. There is the gray used for joints, and the gray used on his backpack. And for size, here he is with Exia, the standard size Gundam, which is the RX-78-2 Beyond Global, Unicorn Gundam, and the new Gundam. So yeah, he's standard size for a Gundam, but he's not supposed to be. You see, in the 90s, basically, Japan didn't have a lot of money. I don't know the exact reasons why, but there was a big economic drop. So they made a lot of their mobile suit designs smaller so that the toys would be easier and cheaper to make. So a lot of designs from shows like Gundam Wing are supposed to be tiny, for budgetary reasons. But because Bandai doesn't care about scale anymore, he's just standard Gundam size. Oh well, I would have liked to see a properly scaled one, because I do like scale in Gundam kits, but oh well. Anyways, for accessories, first of all, we have some hands. These are the hands that come with every single Gundam Wing high grade, well, every single recent one. So we get quite a few types. Actually, not really. We have the standard fisted holding hands he has on right now. Some alternate hands for holding his weapons at a more like dynamic angle. Also looks kind of like a thumbs up. And my favorite / least favorite hands, the widespread open hands. I usually really like the widespread open, like dynamic hands, but these, yeah, they don't look that good. They look more like they were made for holding up the barrel of a gun than, you know, using in dynamic poses, but oh well. I kind of wish these were better. It would help with the design, because this is a pretty cool dynamic looking design, so some dynamic hands would have been nice. And of course, we get a pair of all of these. Next up, we have the shield, which is pretty nice on its own. There are no stickers on here, so that yellow are separate parts. On the back, we just have a little port attached onto the arm. And these open here, they're kind of geared, so they both open at the same time, which is a really nice little gimmick. We also get an effect part to use here, so you can have a kind of stabby, pointy stabby shield thingy. It's a pretty dumb idea, but I guess it does look kind of cool. And for some reason there's a 3mm port on the bottom here. Anyways, a shield can be attached onto the arm with a 3mm peg, so I don't know what that port is for though. And it holds on there pretty solidly. Next up, we have the worst accessory, which is the folded up scythe thing. So I did do a bit of painting on the piston here, which is cool. But yeah, it looks pretty cool and hollow. I mean, yeah, there are modern budgets and stuff, but apparently the original 90s toy of this had this filled in, so I kind of wish this was improved. But it doesn't actually really matter because you put it on like this, slide it through as a butt thing, and you don't even see it. Even from the front, it's not really that noticeable. And finally, we have his actual scythe, which seems a bit too big for him, but it's pretty cool. We have, again, painting that I did on there. This bit does actually move, even though it doesn't move how it should. It's supposed to move with the piston. Well, I mean, I'm just guessing that it would. And we get two nice effect parts. So we have a big, long one, which just attaches into here. And we have a little short one. And the scythe fits into his hand pretty well, and still looks pretty oversized. Yeah, that's all for the accessories. I kind of wish he had a bit more, but I don't really think he had anything else in the show. But yeah, now that we've looked at the accessories, let's move on to the articulation. So his head is just on the standard double polycap ball joint, so you can go up that far, down that far, side to side, and a bit blocked when you try to rotate around because of these machine gun things here. The shoulders are on the standard swinging forward polycap joint, so you can get that much to the front, that much to the back. The arm raise, the arm raise itself sucks, but you get this neat little gimmick here where you can push this up and get a bit more, but it's still not parallel to the ground. He has a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow bend, which is pretty nice, and ball jointed wrist. His ab crunch itself isn't that good, again, although it's decent, but it likes to fall off a lot. But all the wing kits, again, like the newer ones, have a gimmick where you can raise that. Move it forward to give him a bit more of an ab crunch, which is pretty nice. His skirting armor comes connected on the runners, but I split it apart, which is nice, and it's not all loose, so that's really nice. And his hips have a standard polycap on here, and they also have a rocking joint, which is nice, so you can get that kick all the way to the front. The rear skirting armor does move out of the way, well, you would think it would, but it gets blocked by this weird backpack thing here, so you only get that much out to the back. Next up, we have a thigh swivel. Now, this knee bend is really cool. So, the standard knee bend won't get you that much. It's decent. But then, you can unlock this and get a bit extra from the knee bend right there. I'll take it out to show you. We have some piston detail there, which I painted. And it gives you that little extra bend so you can get a more decent knee bend. So, it's triple jointed. And ankle pivot, or foot articulation is pretty good because you get a toe bend. And the pivot is, okay, no, it's not actually that, I mean, it's decent. Oh yeah, and the side skirting armor moves, not enough to give you splits though. So the high-grade Gundam Deathscythe, I feel, is about the standard for a modern high-grade kit. The color separation isn't the greatest in places like with the crotch V, but in other places it is pretty good. I think I'm gonna give this thing 3 Roy Roys. It's about standard baseline for a high grade kit, or a modern one at least. And yeah, if you like Gundam Wing, you should go out and get it. If you don't, I guess you can kind of pass on it. If you like the design, you could get it. But yeah, I just think it's a solid baseline high grade. But now that you finish this video, there's 2 others you can watch. There is a review of Transformers Kingdom Black Arachnia, and one of me playing a Roblox game. So yeah, that's it for the review. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, don't. And yeah, bye.